We got married in May of 2010. We started trying to have a baby in January of 2011, about 2 months after we started at the Freedom Church. And we found out March 2nd, I believe, that we were pregnant. And we were ecstatic. The pregnancy was very difficult. I was very sick. I lost about 25 pounds. And I made it to 21 weeks, which was 5 months, the day before we were supposed to have our sonogram and find out if we were having a boy or a girl. And I went into labor, went to the hospital, and they couldn't stop it. And I was in labor all day, didn't know it. Got to the hospital about noon, and he was born at 3:11 that afternoon. He weighed 8 ounces, and he was stillborn.
The biggest thing was to know that when it happened that we wouldn't be coming home from the hospital with a child. And actually I think that moment of our lives, I think that was probably the deepest and darkest point that we had got to as a couple. I actually think it was the moment of our life where we had never been, as far as we truly didn't know at that point what to do, how to react, how to go about the tribulation that was coming before us. There was actually one point through the whole experience where I actually looked up at the sky and I actually told God that if He was in front of me right now, that I would punch Him in His face. I felt like He took everything from me in that moment. At that point, all I could see was the hurt. All I could see was He was the reason. And at first I blamed Him, but I was blinded. I didn't see the light. I didn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. I was actually, that was the first time I felt like I was real with Him. Like I finally talked to Him like I was talking to my friend, or you know, because I mean, He ultimately is. He's my Father. He's my friend. But your fleshly mind might be telling you that you know you gotta find somebody to blame. You gotta find somebody, you know, to put the blame on. But really, in actuality, everything really does happen for a reason. I mean, and it's hard to see that in that moment in the time. But once you finally get to a place to where you can truly walk by faith, give it all, let go. Quit fighting and quit being so stubborn. I mean, and truly give it up to Him. Jeremiah 29:11 says that He knows the plans that He has for you. I mean, He's not here to hurt you. He's not here to bring you down. I mean, everything He does is to prosper you, is to help you, is to further you in life. Even though we didn't know it right there at that moment in time, the true plan that He had for us. We knew that there was something else. We knew that there was more. Actually, through the experience with losing Cooper, losing our child, it actually, I think the closest to God that we've ever been in our lives.
You can either run from Him or you run to Him, and we just chose to run to Him. I mean, it's all I could do. It's the only place I found peace and comfort and hope.
There was one time where we couldn't even sit together and pray together, and now we can. And you know, I feel that, you know, even that it was a very hard time, and you know, it was very hard for both of us, that was the ultimate plan, that to make us closer to Him. This is Colton, and he is a awesome present that was given to us from the Lord, and he's definitely impacted our life in an awesome way.
Cooper was born on July 11th, 2011. Colton was born on July 6th, 2012 at 2:30 in the morning. I was in labor for 19 hours, and it was the most amazing experience of our lives. The moment I found out I was pregnant, I was terrified. I was so scared that it was going to happen again. And I went through about probably the first 2 months just, I mean, scared. Everything that didn't feel normal, I was just terrified. And finally, one Sunday I was in church and Melody was talking about just giving it up to God, and I realized, I said, I have to give him this child too. Because I know that whatever's going to happen is what God wants to happen, and I just have to trust him, and that's what I gain from it, is just trusting God with everything. Any woman who's gone through any kind of pregnancy, miscarriage, stillborn, difficulty getting pregnant, can't get pregnant, it's just a bond that you share with women, because it's something that, unless you've been there, you don't know what it feels like. And I've gotten to, mostly through Facebook, just to post our story. I have friends on Facebook I've never met in person who I've talked to, gotten to pray with, gotten to pray for, and still, trying to get them to come to church, and just to put their difficulties in God's hand. It's just difficult when you're in that moment and all you want is a baby, and it's just, you can't have it yet. And so I think being able to be there for other women has been the best thing for me.
The day I got to meet him, the day he was born, just sold it for me that the light at the end of that tunnel, because to finally be in that moment and be in that instance and get to hold my brand new baby that came out and get to feel all the things that you feel with it, it was probably the greatest, if not one of the greatest things that'll probably ever happen to me in my whole life.
He's watching us, and he's gonna grow up with what we do, and it really just, for me, has made me look at myself and my relationship with God and how I handle things and just everything. And it's fun and exhausting and terrifying, but it's amazing.
I'm just so excited about getting to be a dad, and especially having a son and getting to show him things.
Since having Colton, it's really made me think about how difficult it was for God to put his son on the cross for all of us.
He loves me more than I love Colton, and to even think about that just really blows my mind, because to think what I would do for him, I mean, I would do anything.